Hello everyone. I'm Ngozi and welcome back to our channel, Ejima. Today's video is a highly requested video, and in today's video I'm going to be discussing the best neighborhoods in Houston, Texas. Keyword for young professionals. All right. So if you're interested in this type of content, you really want to know what these neighborhoods are, make sure to stay tuned, watch this video to the end, like it before we get into it, and let's go ahead in. Before I get into the video, I have to make a disclaimer. These lists can be subjective. Some of them are put together from, realtors, websites, and people look at different things when they're making these lists. And me, Ngozi, also pulled from different lists and also from my personal experiences, being that I've been in Houston now for 2 years. And this is not only the best neighborhoods in Houston, but it's particularly for young professionals, all right? Looking at the demographics of the people who watch this channel, a lot of people are between 25 and 44 years old. And according to a lot of the data, when the lists were made for younger professionals, that was the age group, 25 to like 45-ish. That's young. People are young in spirit, young in heart, young in mind. Doesn't mean that you have to be in these ages to live in these neighborhoods. There's people from all walks of life in all of these neighborhoods. But I really wanted to make a video that our audience can relate to. It is also why I picked this age, because I know that at this point in your life, people are looking for different things. With that being said, I'm not including marital status or anything. You could be a young professional living with your boyfriend, girlfriend, your husband, wife, even a child. These neighborhoods are just really catered to young people, put it in professionals, because I won't lie, some of these neighborhoods are a bit pricey, but it's not to say that only certain people can live in it. But I'm targeting our viewers. All right. So I just have to put that out there because I want you guys to make sure you all understand what this video is about. All right, without further ado, let's get into it. Number one is Midtown. All right. When I first moved to Houston, I heard a lot about Midtown, but I didn't really understand what the area was. So it took me some time, and after some research and going to a couple of places that were described as Midtowns, really understand that it's sort of kind of like an extension of downtown. It's the area between, I believe, the Museum District and downtown Houston. Let me give you guys an official definition. It's a central neighborhood of Houston located west-southwest of downtown, separated by downtown by an elevated section of I-45. It is a continuation of downtown square grid street plan anchored by Main Street and the Metro Rail line. All right, that makes sense. So, it's a cute little area. A lot of places are there, a lot of things to do, growing really rapidly, a lot of nice establishments, from all different walks of life, a lot of nice apartments. It's a really cute area. So in this video, I'm going to be going through the average apartment cost and the average home cost. So in Midtown, the average home is about $360,000. Like I mentioned, it's close to downtown. It makes it a great area for young professionals. They tend to gravitate to the area because one of the key things is very walkable. And being in Houston, I mentioned a lot of other videos. I haven't watched it. What I wish I knew before moving to Houston, Texas. What you should know about Houston before moving is that Houston is not a walkable place. This is not Manhattan. This is not Boston. This is not one of these cities, DC, that you're going to go to for like, oh, I don't need a car. Maybe if you're 100% remote, you can try it. I talk about my journey as well. Make sure you watch those videos. I'll link them down below. But it's not walkable. The way it's set up, the grid, the urban planning is not set up for walking. So certain areas like this are very notable because they are pretty walkable. You have a bunch of bars, museums, restaurants. There's so much to do in the area. Very lively, very vibrant, and it's within the loop. I'm also mentioning school ratings because, like I mentioned, I'm not going to say that this is just for single people. Families do live in these areas. There are homes in these areas. And according to Niche, the schools are rated a B+. So the schools are pretty reasonable. They're good, and I think that's not the concern a lot of people have living in Houston. Houston is that, the Houston ISD, I believe Independent School District, there are some, there's a lot of issues with certain areas of schools not being that great. So that's something you definitely want to consider if you have children who will be attending school. The average rent, one bedroom, I don't believe this number is saying like $3K, but it is pretty pricey. So it's a nice area and I like the location of it. So number two, we have Montrose. All right, I've talked about this area in my lives before. Montrose is noted as the Houston Austin. Very interesting. Like that's like the nickname for it. But Montrose is a vibe. It's a vibe. It's a great neighborhood. Average one bedroom is about 2,100. Average home is 573,000. But it's very artsy, eclectic, boho. Very it's the vibes, you know. It gives me like a anthropology, West Elm, like, you know, even you, if y'all know the Urban Outfitters, if you know what I'm talking about, like down below, if you know the vibe I'm trying to explain. But it's a vibe. It also ranks the third best neighborhood in Houston for young professionals, and it's also known for being very LGBTQIA plus friendly. So it's very inclusive. It's located really close to the medical center and museum district. So like it is not too far from downtown, maybe 10 minutes max. So it's a really, really good location, and has a lot to offer, a lot of great restaurants. Oh my God. I don't know if y'all know I'm a foodie. I am a foodie, if you can't tell. Foodie. Resi sends out their list of like top restaurants and places to go in Houston. I don't know when I ever signed up, but I get it all the time. I'm not complaining. And literally when I go through the restaurants and I make my little list, you know, that PDF, what to do in Houston, is coming soon. I'm putting it in the atmosphere. Literally, if they name 10 restaurants, 7 are in Montrose. At least 5 are in Montrose. Like Montrose has very popular restaurants: Picnic, Traveler's Table. You have what else? Marmo. New places always open. Graffiti Raw. Like I'm even ashamed of myself. Like I have so much more to explore in Montrose, and I really like the area. Another cool thing about Montrose is it has a nice mix of housing options. A lot of condos, a lot of homes, a lot of apartments. So there's something for everyone. And the schools are also ranked B+. All right, so the schools are pretty good. Number 3 is the medical center. Okay. When I first moved to Houston, I was a little further out than where I live now. The closest library to me is in the medical center. And every time I drive there, even just to park there, there's no lot. I have to go through like a garage. I get such like city vibes. So like if you're the type of person moving from a Boston, moving from New York, you're moving from DC, or you're just moving from a very, very high, you know, high speed city, and you still want to feel like you're those like Northeast vibes with the Southern coast and weather, the medical center is a great area. It just the rail goes through it. A lot of world-class hospitals, facilities, a lot of research in that area, a lot of money in that area. Baylor School of Medicine is in the medical center part of Houston. You know, Baylor is actually, I believe, in Waco, but the med school is in Houston, and it's actually in the medical center. It's right by the library. So every time I go through them, it's like, oh, this is like a really cute vibe. Like it really gives me like city vibes. It caters to young professionals, of course, because, you know, I have a lot of students, a lot of schools, a lot of programs, nightlife, and like I mentioned, a lot of world-class institutions like the hospitals and things like that. A lot of the hospitals, what is it? Is it Memorial Hermann? A lot of them are all in that area. It also houses Hermann Park and the Houston Zoo. So, you know, a lot in that area. The schools also have a B+ rating. The medical center is a cute little area. 1 bedroom goes for $1950. Average 1 bedroom, and the average home goes for about $480,000. Number 4, one of my favorites, is River Oaks. When I first visited Houston, it was a popular, one of the attractions is like going through and seeing all the River Oak mansions, driving through. There's some history behind those. We won't get into that in this video, but River Oaks is a vibe. Like when you just enter it, I'm gonna classify it with like Upper Kirby and Greenway, because when I was looking for places, I think that they're kind of all grouped in together. Like I feel like Upper Kirby and Greenway, they're separate, but they're kind of just like, they're very proximal. So when I'm saying River Oaks, I'm also putting like Upper Kirby and Greenway in this category. But specifically for River Oaks, the average house last year sold for $2.2 million. I'm not even looking at average apartments. I did one apartment tour on this channel, HANOVER River Oaks, like one of the best apartments I've toured, and the amenities were like crazy. Like, it's a posh area. I'm not gonna lie. It's a posh area, you know, high end, high brow. I go to the Whole Foods there, but I like it. You know, I feel comfortable there. It has a lot of like cute little stores. There's like a River Oaks district area that they've kind of like, when I first moved, it wasn't really referred to that, but they like added up like the park. It's just crazy being 2 years and just seeing how much it's changed. But like in that little area, you have like cute little restaurants like Lock Bar, Mad, Toulouse, Bisou, Steak 48 is there. Then if you drive a little further down, you have you know, Crate and Barrel and all those stores. Like it's a really cute area. Like I said, it's also proximal to like the Galleria, Post Oak area. A lot of neighborhoods just use the name River Oaks as a selling point because anyone who knows Houston knows like that's where a lot of the money's at. Let's be honest, like, you know. But it's just a very cute, vibrant area. I could definitely see why a lot of people would be attracted to it, a lot of young professionals in particular, but I won't lie, it is on the pricier side. So that's why I grouped it like that Greenway, Upper Kirby, because they're very proximal and I tend to see like more affordability there, but it's still technically like River Oaks. So like that, so yeah, that's my number 4. Number 5 is Memorial Park, all right, aka Washington Ave area. For anyone who's really gone out in Houston, you know, like that Washington Ave area is very popular. It has like a lot of popular bars, restaurants, spots. Parking there could be so crazy. It's like, it could be like insane, but it's a really cute like little strip of just a bunch of like, just that you could just walk up and down, and there's like so many places, so much to do. So that's why they also refer to it as like the Washington Ave, like that street within Memorial Park. But it's a cute little area. You know, it's in a good location. A lot of young professionals, also known for its diversity. A lot, like I mentioned, bars and restaurants on that Washington Ave strip. It's a lot of renters in this area. It's mostly renters, which stands out from a lot of the other areas. And the renters are mostly between the ages of 25 and 44. So like I mentioned, that targets like the young professional demographic. The schools have a B+ rating. Average 1-bedroom is $1,975, and the average home goes for about $500,000. All right, so that is Memorial Park, aka Washington Ave. All right, I only want to do 5, but I'm going to give an honorable mention, and I have my reasons why I wouldn't necessarily recommend it, but I understand why it comes up on a lot of lists, and that is downtown Houston. All right, downtown Houston is like, you know, the city center. You have like Minute Maid Park. You have like, you know, where there's games, all like attractions, where you have like all the sports and stuff. So there's a lot going on in downtown. Out of restaurants, you have the theater there. And like whenever I drive through downtown, I'm like, okay, it really feels like I'm in a city. Like a lot of these other areas are city adjacent. Like you get like a little vibe here and there. Even like I mentioned the medical center. But when I'm in downtown Houston, I'm like, yeah, this is downtown. And that may be the reason why I'm just not that crazy about it. To be honest, it's too much going on. It has one-way streets. I don't want all that. One of the most disheartening issues is that there's a lot of homelessness. Like every time I get into downtown, I'm just like, am I in America? Like what is going on? It's so bad. There's a huge homelessness problem in downtown, like there are in most cities in the downtown areas. You know, highly dense, very expensive. There's a lot of factors that contribute to it, and it's very upsetting. It's also very walkable. You know, that's also the part of the city vibe. You know, it's very walkable. There's a lot of condos, a lot of apartments. The average 1-bedroom apartment goes for $2,100. The average home sells for about $380,000. All right, so downtown, definitely understand why young professionals will gravitate to it. You know, you have a lot of like corporations, businesses, you know, a lot of things to do, a lot of attractions. But me personally, I like being close to downtown, but I wouldn't want to live in the downtown of probably any city. It's just not my thing. Too much going on, too much noise, too many people going in and out. Crime also becomes an issue. But I definitely understand why, you know, young people would want to live downtown. If you want to be close to things, you want to go out a lot, you don't want to have to drive everywhere, because the traffic down there is going to be probably one of the craziest because of all the street lights, the one-ways, congestion, things like that. This video was the best neighborhoods for young professionals, for young people. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know how you feel about my selection, the places I chose. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Leave it down in the comment section. And let me know if you also want more most affordable neighborhoods in Houston. I just wanted to start off with the best neighborhoods for young professionals. I know things are becoming more and more expensive, and you know, a lot of these neighborhoods, I'm not gonna lie, they're not the cheapest. You know, they're I said all the 1-bedroom rent costs, they're pretty high, especially for the South, especially for being in Texas. So let me know if you all want the most affordable cities in Houston, and I can do a video on that. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.